I would like to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Nolan's friend, Tracestin, won't tell the truth because his black family don't accept him. Salute to the chat. Salute to the replay gang. Salute to all of my moderators. Now, I want to read this. Give me 1 second, y'all. And then we're going to handle some business. All right. So here are some things that we're going to keep in mind in this case. The grandfather who canceled the rescue Nolan Wells' mysterious death. New audio reveals a teen called for help. An adult canceled it. Nolan never made it home. Why did the grandfather cancel the call, the 911 call? What the new audio reveals. On July the 4th, around 4 p.m., a teen on the boat called Sea Tow, a private towing company. So remember, y'all, the actual 911 call was to a towing company. It wasn't to fire, ambulance, police, rescue, emergency. All right. And said the boat was sinking. The caller was panicking. The bulge pump wasn't working. The dispatcher asked, "Is everyone on board in good health?" And there has been a lot of things when it comes to this case. So as it stated, the caller mentioned that the boat was sinking. When I made reference to why would Nolan want to get on a boat that's sinking, some people tried to say, well, Shank, the boat wasn't sinking. The boat was just filling up with a little bit of water. Well, and black and white, it's in black and white that it was definitely reported as sinking. The caller said, yeah, everyone is on board. But here's what the background audio reportedly catches. And this is what we all been going over in the last 24 hours. Nolan, I even heard Nolan on that audio in the background. Nolan, wake up. Wyatt, check his chest. Is he dead? I even heard the female in that audio recording. Even before I heard Nolan, I heard a female voice say, "Is he dead?" Nolan, wake up. Many of you all heard somebody saying, "Nolan, wake up." And it says, if Nolan wasn't on the boat, why are people saying his name? Because remember, according to Tracestin, according to Warren, Nolan didn't get on the boat. According to Warren, they were asking, and this is another thing I want to point out. According to Warren in his interview, they were asking for Nolan to get on the boat. However, what we heard Warren say, they wasn't asking Nolan to get on the boat. They were demanding Nolan to get on the boat. Warren said, "Nolan, get on the effing boat." That's not asking Nolan to get on that boat. That's demanding him to get on that boat. So once again, why would Nolan get on a boat that's sinking? Y'all say y'all asked him to get on the boat. Well, you just described to us that y'all were telling him to get on the boat. The grandfather who intervened, the Sea Tow captain told the dispatcher he was already on the phone with Jerry Atkinson, the boat owner and the grandfather of one of the teens on the trip. Atkinson told the captain the teens didn't need help. The situation was handled. Why would the adult, why would he intervene and say, nah, everything is okay? Just for food for thought. Now, we all know about the timeline. 4:31 p.m., the boat leaves Horn Island. supposedly without Nolan. 5:52 p.m., it arrives at Fort Bayou. 6:06 p.m., it leaves Fort Bayou. 7:19 p.m., boat is pulled from the water. After 7:19 p.m., boat is towed over land to the owner's Biloxi residence. Peep this. A sinking boat doesn't make a 90-minute detour to Fort Bayou. A sinking boat doesn't get towed to a private garage. It gets towed to a repair shop. Who was probably on the boat? Based on public reporting and social media confirmations, Eli, friend on the trip; Eric, friend on the trip; Wyatt, friend on the trip; grandson of Jerry Atkinson, son of Jennifer Powern; Warren, friend on the trip, son of Judge Ashley Cole; Morgan, friend on the trip; Nolan Wells, victim. The boat was eventually towed to the Biloxi residence of Jerry Atkinson, the grandfather's home. Background voices on the call reportedly say, excuse me, y'all. Background voices on the call reportedly say, Wyatt, check his chest. How many of y'all heard that? Drop a 1 if y'all heard in the background somebody saying, check his chest. This indicates Wyatt was on the boat when the call was made. The questions that the man answers. Why did Jerry Atkinson tell the captain the teens didn't need help? If Nolan was on the boat, why did the caller say everyone is on aboard? If Nolan was not on the boat, why are people heard saying, Nolan, wake up? And is he dead in the background? Why was the boat towed to a private residence instead of a repair shop? Why did the friends lawyer up instead of talking to Nolan's parents? I think that's what everybody want to know. That's the $1 million question. Because they lawyered up way before social media got on their heads. They immediately lawyered up. So why they didn't go and talk to Nolan's parents? Way before Ben Crump got involved. They say that Ben Crump is the one that started all this. They say it's because of Ben Crump the racial tensions is rising. Well, way before Ben Crump got involved, how come they didn't go to the parents? Because remember, it's the parents of Nolan that wants the answers. It says, why did Judge Ashley Cole issue public statements defending her son before the investigation was complete? That's a judge. That's a judge. A judge is not supposed to speak out on any cases publicly. The bottom line, a teenager called for help. His boat was sinking. An adult, the boat owner, and the teen's grandfather told the rescue company they didn't need any help. The same boat was later towed to a private residence. The friends lawyered up and went silent. Nolan's family is still waiting for answers. Why didn't an adult cancel the rescue? All right, now that was just something that I just wanted to brief everybody on and catch those up to where we're at in the case. Now we're on to this friend. Now the reason why y'all can see on the left, I got Calvin from Paid in Full. Drop a 2 if you've seen the movie Paid in Full. And I got Chris Rock at the bottom from CB4. Gusto, drop a 3 if you've seen CB4. Now, Calvin was one of them slick ninjas in the movie Paid in Full. That's him right there. Everything about Calvin in that movie Paid in Full had to be slick. We all know about the part that Chris Rock played in CB4, how he was a weenie, he was a good kid, but he made millions. I think that back then what was called clout chasing. Chris Rock and CB4 was doing it back then, but he was playing a character that he wasn't. And that's who this dude right here, Tracestin, remind me of. And in this interview that he done, he specifically stressed that it was his white side of the family that was there for him and that supported him. He specifically stressed his black side disowned him. Even when he speak on the case. Now you got 97, you got more YTs that feel as though this case is not adding up. You got more YT people than you got melanated people, because 40% of the melanated people is house ninjas, and like Officer Tatum, they don't believe that there's any foul play. But 97% of YT people is saying it just ain't adding up. So why is Tracestin specifically talking about the black community? You got the majority of Hispanics. You got the majority of Puerto Ricans. You got the majority of African people. You got the majority of all nationalities that feel as though the math ain't adding up. But why does Tracestin specifically calls out black people? Why does Tracestin specifically point the finger at black people? Let's get into Tracestin's interview, y'all. Now, like I said, okay, there was this fight that Tracestin said that he was in. He was on one. He was wilding out. He don't know this dude name. He don't know too much about this dude, but he heard of the dude in that manner. But nobody gave you a name on this dude that you was fighting. After the fight, nobody came up to you with all these people out there. I'm sure the dude that you was fighting wasn't out there by himself. Nobody gave you the name. We all know the reason why Tracestin, as well as Warren, is not name dropping anybody. Because if they name drop anybody, then we know that they're going to be definitely a part of the investigation. And the law definitely should investigate them. Now, what do y'all think is going to happen if the law investigates whoever it is that Tracestin said he was fighting? What do y'all think gonna happen? What do y'all think gonna happen if he named the person and social media get a hold to it? What do y'all think this person that he allegedly was fighting, what do y'all think that person is going to say? Look, I can just imagine what that person is going to say. But why won't they mention these people's names? Like I said, see, a slick person like Calvin, a slick person, a crack slick on you when you with your girl. Same situation when Nolan was with that girl. If you talk to pimps, if you talk to Max, if you talk to players, if you talk to anybody that's official, any man gonna tell you, regardless of that girl's background, regardless even if that girl is a hoe, you don't disrespect that girl and you don't disrespect that man that girl is with by saying anything slick about that girl. My thing is this: when she was with you, if she's a hoe, or if she was a hoe, was she a hoe when she was with you? See, dudes got the game messed up, man. And if you are one of those dudes that if you see a girl that maybe got a bad name, maybe a girl that's a 304 or a hoe, and you see her with her boyfriend, you see her with a man, don't disrespect her. Don't call her out her name while you see her with a man. His words were, he cracked slick. He said something slick to Nolan about that girl, why he was with that girl. Why would you do that? All right, here we go, y'all.
Did you have anything to do with Nolan's death?
No.
do you have personal knowledge of someone directly in your friend group having anything to do with Nolan's death?
No, not at all.
So I saw you on television. You had an interview, and I felt like you laid out a few things that I think the world needs to know and be clear about.
Okay.
All right, let me just stop it right there for a second, y'all. And also, I meant to mention this as well. Why is the tip line going directly to Judge Ashley Cole? Can anybody that don't believe that this is foul play, can anybody explain to us all why is the tip line that's set up, why is that tip line going directly to Judge Ashley? Anybody that don't think that this is foul play, riddle me that.
Is the relationship that you had with Nolan. Can you explain your relationship with Nolan?
Yeah, I will. So his mom got on TV, as everybody has seen, and said that she didn't know me. And, man, that can't be farthest from the truth. Me and Nolan, I met Nolan in 9th grade in a second block class. It was math. He was one of the first guys I made friends with. It was somebody I made a connection to, like, off rip. He was an athlete. I could tell he was an athlete when I walked into class. We sat really close to each other. And all he did, he turned around and asked me for a pencil when I first met him in 9th grade when I moved to Ocean Spring. Man, it was tough. And the relationship there has always been best friend in my eyes. I never wanted to take away how close somebody else was with Nolan. But Nolan was my best friend. That was a guy I knew I could call at any point in time. He called me at 11 o'clock on the 4th to see where I was parked at. Man.
All right, now let me stop it right there, y'all, because according to him, Nolan called him on the morning of July the 4th, right? 11 o'clock. Now, it's have been confirmed that nothing is on Nolan's call log on July the 4th. This is what the deleted phone messages and everything was about. Right there. There's another lie. So now you saying, okay, well, we talked to each other 11 o'clock on July the 4th, but everything in Nolan's phone on July the 4th is gone.
Him giving me advice on my girlfriend, on my life in general. Nolan has been the only friend, and I love my friends and my best friend in this group of guys, but Nolan has been the only person that ever tell me, like, he's proud of what I've done. He's proud of how hard I worked. He's proud of me going overseas to go play ball. That was my guy. Like, that was my best friend.
Yeah, and so how does it make you feel when the media activists are coming out and alluding to the fact that you may have something to do with what happened to Nolan on that day?
Man, that hurts. It hurts is an understatement. I beat myself up every night I lay down. I beat myself up anytime it crosses my mind. Because in my head, if I wasn't drinking, if I didn't get into that altercation, maybe I would be able to do something. Maybe I would have saw something. Maybe I would have told Nolan, hey, man, you're not going with that girl. Just come back with us. We're going back a little bit later. We can go meet up with the guys later. Maybe it just plays out different. And then the fact that they're going to play that is I'm already trying to mourn my friend's death as is, and I'm blaming myself for it.
And I don't mean to keep interrupting everybody, but this is the same guy. Remember, y'all, this is the same guy that said nobody wanted to see Nolan die. So once again, for those that are still saying that there's no foul play, now that's another bad report on Tracestin's report card. He said it in his ABC interview. Nobody wanted to see Nolan die. Now, let me pinpoint this out, because it's a lot that I do have to pinpoint out, y'all. So I do apologize that I have to keep stopping it. I'll try my best to let as much of it run, but I do have to point this out. Now, you see how they polarize Nolan? You see how they're always speaking all this good stuff about Nolan? So the average person that don't have their third eye open, the third eye is the mind, but that average person that don't have the third eye open, they'll look at it from that perspective. But why would they want to do anything to Nolan? Because Nolan was such this great guy. Everybody loved Nolan. If y'all go to that movie, Paid in Full, remember Ace. He started out working in the cleaners. And when Ace got on, and when Ace was making it so everybody can get money, when this slick dude right here, remember when Calvin came home from prison, Ace set him up. Ace set him up as far as gave him, old folks candy to sell, to make sure, he get money and everything. I mean, Ace in that movie Paid in Full, Ace was just like Nolan. So people would automatically assume nobody ain't gonna mess with Ace. Ace is good to everybody. And what did this slick dude right here, that reminds me of this slick dude right here, this slick dude Calvin, robbed Ace and almost took Ace's life, but took the lives of everybody else that was in that apartment. So we don't want to hear that, oh, Nolan was just this great guy. Nolan was just this great friend. Why would anybody want to do something to him? Because where I'm from and where all of y'all are from, we know a lot of people that lost their lives just like Nolan. So we ain't buying that part. I just wanted to make that a public note. I'm going to do my best, y'all, to let as much as this play as I can, y'all. So I do apologize for interrupting. I'm all over the place, y'all.
It's tough, and the relationship there has always been best friend in my eyes. I never wanted to take away how close somebody else was with Nolan, but Nolan was my best friend. That was a guy I knew I could call at any point in time. He called me at 11 o'clock on the 4th to see where I was parked at. Man, me and Nolan have countless nights of him giving me advice on my girlfriend, on my life in general. Nolan has been the only friend, and I love my friends and my best friend in this group of guys, but Nolan has been the only person that ever tell me, like, he's proud of what I've done. He's proud of how hard I worked. He's proud of me going overseas to go play ball. That was my guy. Like, that was my best friend.
Yeah, and so how does it make you feel when the media activists are coming out and alluding to the fact that you may have something to do with what happened to Nolan on that day?
Man, that hurts. It hurts is an understatement. I beat myself up every night I lay down. I beat myself up anytime it crosses my mind. Because in my head, if I wasn't drinking, if I didn't get into that altercation, maybe I would be able to do something. Maybe I would have saw something. Maybe I would have told Nolan, hey, man, you're not going with that girl. Just come back with us. We're going back a little bit later. We can go meet up with the guys later. Maybe.
All right, let's stop right there, y'all. Let's stop right there. So now, I would have told Nolan not to go with that girl. What happened when he went with that girl? Are you going to speak on that, Tracestin, when your next part of the interview comes out? Is it going to be in that interview where you speak out about what could have possibly went wrong with that girl? That's what I'm interested in. Because Warren and Tracestin, they're definitely putting it off on Katie as far as the last person to be seen with Nolan was Katie. Okay, now it gets interesting. Now here comes the Netflix movie. Now here comes the Lifetime movie. Now here comes that hood movie. Okay, we done got, middle ways in. Okay, now what's the plot? Okay, we got the plot. Okay, now who are we actually looking at as far as being the villain, because the villain is in every movie. It's a villain in all these movies. So now Katie is the villain. So what could have possibly took place while he was with Katie? Could it been that they had too much to drink? Could it been that, when allegedly he was drowning? Could it been that, Katie can't swim? So, and then, Katie being much smaller than Nolan, she couldn't save him. What possibly could have happened while he was with Katie? Inquiring minds would like to know. I know Shankrock definitely would like to know. You got to break this down. Let me come to my chat. You got to break this down. Tracestin, Nolan was headed for success. They knew that. Facts. The grandpa that owned the boat, Jerry, needs to be brought in and questioned down. Facts. Because why would Jerry cancel the help? Why would he say, nah, they don't need no help? They don't need no more help. Don't go with Katie. Just more questions. I see you. And another thing that I want to address, I'll let y'all know. Bet there is no Katie. Tracestin claimed that was the last time he saw Nolan before the fight. Except for this pick, Katie wasn't the only one. How did Katie get there? And then why did she have to get picked up by somebody else? Wyatt dropped the back anchor. Appreciate this super chat, Sonia. I've been on vacation, so I'm in the replay gang. However, you are cooking up some grit. Salute. I appreciate the support, Sonia. I see you on vacation. Now, how many of y'all have seen that video? I'm going to play it for y'all. And see, this is why over here, this is why I'm so cautious on what I speak on and so cautious on I take in to be true. How many of y'all saw that video with the YT dude that was saying that they better leak? I hope I still got it. They better leak, or they better come up off of that information, or they're going to leak out what really happened. Now, he recalls what he said. Well, I just want y'all to see how social media works. Now, he recalls what he said. Watch this.
After I made this video, one, they can make things right, or two, which gave no context, gave no description that it would have anything to do with anybody who died. Yet people ran with it and assumed that I had something to do with the death of Nolan Wells, which at the time I had no idea of the situation or what happened or anything. I'd never even heard of the name before in my life. I put in the comment section multiple times telling you people that this has nothing to do with it. I have no idea what you're even talking about. Okay. And then it continued. 6,000 comments later, I decided, screw it. I'm just going to continue making these videos with no context to them. And these people are going to run with it. A little social experiment. And I found out that you guys are dumb.
This is after that video that he made. See, once again, y'all, they are strategically putting stuff on social media. They are strategically putting false information. They are doing this strategically. Now, here's my thing. Is the FBI going to investigate him? Is the state of Mississippi, is this guy going to be charged with on purposely trying to deceive the people in the Nolan Wells case? I wait. Like I said, I got this the same day that he put it out. I get all of the stuff that you all get in the Nolan Wells case. I get it. Even with that video, y'all notice, I ain't talk about that video yet. The alleged video of, them body slamming Nolan in the sand and all of that. You ain't fooling me. I ain't going. That's the latest hot topic now. See, they're strategically trying to distract us by just throwing these type of things out there so we can fall for the okie dokie. So keep in mind, y'all, what y'all entertain. Keep in mind what y'all are taking in. Keep in mind. And unless I ask y'all to send me something particular in the Nolan Wells case, please don't send me anything, because I get everything that y'all get. I get everything that y'all get. So please don't send it to me. Now, if I ask y'all to send me something, then of course send it. And it's no disrespect, but it's just, I see it all. And me being a content creator, I just can't throw anything out there and run with it as it being official. So now, is this guy, did they get to him? Did they pay him off? Because why is he now backtracking what he said? Why is he now saying, I just did it for a social media experiment. I just wanted to see how many of y'all would run with it. I'll see y'all in the chat. Give me a minute.
Different. And then the fact that they're going to play that is I'm already trying to mourn my friend's death as is, and I'm blaming myself for it. To put that in my head is a next level of hurt that can't be truly explained. Because, man, it's hard to put into words. Generally, it's backstabbing from a sense of a community that I thought I had with my skin color.
It's backstabbing from a community of his skin color. How did we backstab you? We don't know you. We don't know you. Appreciate the super sticker trigger talk. That's like somebody coming up to Shank and saying, damn, Shank, man, you backstab me. How the hell you feel as though I backstab you when I don't know you? We don't know you, Tracestin. You did this to yourself. You put yourself in harm's way. I tell people all the time, don't get caught in the crossfire. That means don't step into some ish that don't concern you. And a lot of people that I told it to, they jump right into the crossfire. And they in my bushes right now watching. They in my bushes watching right now like, damn, I should have listened to Shank Rock. Stop concerning yourselves in business that don't belong to y'all. Tracestin, this didn't belong to you. Now you want to put it on the black community. Why? Why you want to put it on the black community? What is your obsession? What do y'all have against the black community? I mean, golly. Black community, pop y'all collars. Black community, pop y'all collars. Everyone is just so obsessed with us. Everyone just got to try to downplay us. Shout out to all those non-blacks that don't try to down us. Shout out to all those non-racist folks that love black people and that are standing on the battlefield with black people. Shout out to all of y'all. I know some of y'all probably feel like, nah, Shank, y'all good, you good. You ain't got to shout me out. You ain't got to give me flowers. I do. Because I seen when maybe 2 or 3% of white people would be on our side when it comes to calling out racism. But in today's time, that 3% has increased to 97%. So I got to call y'all out. I got to give y'all flowers, man. I thank y'all. We thank y'all. But see, this is what we go through as black people. We can't catch a break from nobody, even when we victims. Even when we set out one case, and somebody sent me this case, a black dude, unarmed, a white suspect, and when the police came, the police ended up shooting the black dude.
They're strong together, and I'm supposed to be one of them, but I come up and I speak, and now I'm the person to blame. Now I'm not dark enough for them. I'm not black enough for them, and now I'm the issue. It doesn't make sense. in my head, it doesn't make sense.
Was Nolan? I mean, obviously you were in a friend group, but the way the media makes it seem is that almost as if Nolan was the only black person in this whole friend group. Now they don't even mention you. They don't bring you up in this whole thing when it comes to, you know, what happened on at Horn Island. So what's your take on Nolan being, you know, presented as like the only black kid in a group of all these white boys?
That's crazy, man. I know we've spoken a little bit, but that friend group that I'm a part of to this day was the first friend group I was in when I moved to Ocean Springs as a new kid coming in. I never knew any of them. I'd known one, kind of, sort of, back from grade school because we went to the same private school together. But that was it. And him being the only black person, minority, any of that measure is insane. Our friend group is diverse from the max. Like, we have a mixed guy. I mean, we had Nolan in our friend group. There's an Asian a part of our friend group. There's a Latino that they're trying to perceive as white. He's truly authentic Mexican. His parents are from Mexico. They came over legally and they did everything right, and he's been here since. It blows my mind because our friend group is not a friend group that sees race. Our friend group sees what good you do for other people, what good you bring, and how the type of person you truly are and where your morals lie. That's one thing in common. Me and my friends might not agree on everything, but our morals align. Our morals know. So for them to even make that narrative up really shows you have no idea what it's like down here on the coast. You have no idea how tight-knit Ocean Springs as a community is. You don't understand it. You don't see the thousands of kids in the high school football stands cheering their team on. Nobody cares what color you are. We're there to have fun and to just live. And that's how Nolan lived. That's how I live now. I've grown up and I have more big boy stuff, but in high school, all I cared about was going to hang out with my guys. And I mean, on a personal level that leads off of it, is like, it got me in trouble with my girlfriend just because I wanted to be with the guys. I never once thought, man, they look at me different. Man, I'm kind of an outcast to them. No. All their moms have always welcomed me with open arms. Anytime I needed anything, I knew I could call them and their parents, and they would do anything in the world for me. So with Crump pushing this narrative, it's wrong.
Yeah,
it's completely wrong, especially about our friend group.
Yeah, I find it, you know, especially after talking to you, meeting some of the guys, that it seems like there was an agenda. But can you walk us through just your perspective from that day? You know, I don't know if did you go with them initially? Were you a part of the group that went to Horn Island?
So I wasn't, no, clear that up. No, I was not on the boat with them. Yes, I was a part of the group that was supposed to go out. So
stop right there. So this is why, Tracestin, this is why you didn't come up in the topic, because when it first hit, we were speaking about those that went on the boat to Horn Island with Nolan. You wasn't on the boat. That's why you didn't come up into discussion the topic. I appreciate the gifted membership, Shanitra Speaks. And make sure, if y'all can follow my sister, Shanitra Speaks. I'm sure most of y'all already know Shanitra Speaks, but she is a content creator and she does an excellent job on covering these cases. If you receive a gifted membership from Shanitra Speaks, please tell her thank you. I appreciate that, Shanitra Speaks. So that's why you didn't come up in the topic of discussion. You wasn't on the boat. Now, this is you, once again. That's why at first, and I'm going to shout her out, Mel, my moderator, Mel, she did bring it to my attention about looking at what Officer Tatum brought with this interview. I'm still on his head now. I still call Officer Tatum a house ninja. But Mel did. She did. She said, Shank, just look at it from this perspective. She said, if Officer Tatum didn't do that interview, we wouldn't have the food. We wouldn't have all of this information from Warren and Tracestin that we have. Yep. So thank you, Officer Tatum. And I lost my chain of thought, y'all.
I got begged to go, but my uncle, we also took 12 people out on our boat, not including us two, so 14. And my uncle knows the passengers wouldn't have helped. Generally wouldn't have helped with anything. With that many people on a boat, you need a little bit of help.
At the start, you pick a shelter.
All right, now I'm going to come to my chat. And those that's on my replay, gang, please bear with me, y'all. I apologize. Shanisha Speak says, your coverage has been phenomenal. You have uncovered so much about this case. Thank you for covering. I appreciate you, Shanisha Speaks. Now, see, this dude right here, hold up, y'all. This dude right here, he's Master's son. Y'all remember doing slavery? Remember when Master would, grape the black women, and then the baby would come out light skinned, just like this joker right here. And then he would come out. He had access to the house. He had access to the field. I mean, after all, this is Master's baby right here. This is Master's child. And then he come amongst us, the field ninjas. And you're damn right we got our noses up at this dude right here. You goddamn right we looking at you sideways, because we already know. We already know who you are. And just like now, we already know the first chance that you get, just like the rest of them house ninjas, the first chance that Master's son get, he gonna do what, y'all? He gonna flip on us. And that's what this funky ass Negro is doing right now with his slick self. Hold tight, y'all. Hold tight, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm coming, y'all. Man, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Let me jump to my chat real quick, y'all. Let me calm down, y'all. Let me calm down. I see you, Erica. She's so true. Tatum isn't helping them. LOL. What she said, sports is also doing a good job. Chrissy. OG Shank, he just wants to make himself relevant so bad. Talking about he received pictures of his YT grandma saying she the devil, she going to kill you, shaking my head. I'm like, exactly. Come on, dude. Thank you, Mr. Tatum. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Tatum. Alma says, nah, I ain't going. I ain't going. How many of y'all feel like Officer Tatum did a good job? How many of y'all feel like, nah, Shank, I ain't feeling it, Shank. This officer is definitely doing all of this for clout. The interview backfired on them. Facts. The grand jury should have a good time indicting these guys. All this. And then, like I said, the judge, she got the tip line. She got the tip line set up that it comes straight to her. What is wrong? What is really good, man? He's the slicker. Just look at him. Look at him. And look who I put up here. I got Calvin from Paid in Full. And I got Chris Rock from CB4. Love Jones Shank. Who is Master? Hold up, y'all. Tiger Woods' cousin. Facts. Remember what Tiger Woods said? I ain't black. I don't consider myself black. And when the nanny, when the trifling nanny came out and sued him, it brought him back to reality. I am black. I am a ninja. Y'all, man. It takes 1 to 2 months for a full report. Let them boys talking. Yep, facts. Nah, we turned him and Javon first. Hold up, y'all. Exactly, Shank, because they're telling off on themselves. Their lies has been exposed and it can be used against them in a court of law. Facts. Why did he show up dirty? Facts. So now we know that he's the one that was fighting. No, I don't like him. I wonder what he has to say after that distress call, cover up. Well, getting them fools to talk, yes, he did a good job at that and that only. Everybody say they love Nolan. He is their best friend, but y'all don't know what happened to him. Facts. How about that? Tatum brought the information. It's what's done with the information. I see you, Lisa. Did they seize the one boat that had the complications? Thank you. All I know, and I got to say allegedly, they did, I guess, run up in 2 boats, I believe. But I got to say allegedly. So that's all I know about the boat situation. This officer is not asking the right questions. I see you, Yvette C. If you got to ask. Yvette C, if you could drop Shanitra Speaks link for me. I'm cracking up. I can't. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We got 626 people watching. I should have 626 likes. That judge needs to be disbanded. It's a conflict of interest when her stepson is involved. Facts. Come on, Mississippi. The whole world is watching and investigating. The judge got her hands in the cookie jar for sure. Facts. All right. Officer Tatum's clout-chasing interviews have brought light to the whole situation about Nolan. Facts. That's why they say what's done in the dark will come to light. That officer didn't ask details with those boys. The judge is supposed to rescue herself from all this regarding her child. Facts, y'all. Yeah, this is crazy. Let me backtrack, y'all. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I find it, especially after talking to you, meeting some of the guys, that it seems like there was an agenda. But can you walk us through just your perspective from that day? I don't know if did you go with them initially? Were you a part of the group that went to Horn Island?
So I wasn't, clear that up. No, I was not on the boat with them. Yes, I was a part of the group that was supposed to go out. So the only reason why I did not go on the boat is I was offered, I got begged to go, but my uncle, we also took 12 people out on.
See, I got to stop this, y'all. I see you still swinging. I see you, Tommy. I got to stop this. I was, why this dude don't do finish sentences? I was offered to go. Oh, I was begged to go. An offer and being begged. Somebody correct Shank Rock if I'm wrong. An offer and a beg, that's 2 different things. And if y'all notice, in his interview and in Warren's interview, they switch more lanes faster than Shank Rock does. They'll start. Then when you like, okay, this is going to be good. I can't wait to hear what he got to say about this. He done switch lanes and you be like, God damn. Like a crossword puzzle. My man all over the place. Which one is it? Did you get offered or was you begged? An offer is somebody making you an offer. Hey, Tracestin, I got an offer. If you come out with me on the boat, I can buy you a drink. I can get you some powder. That's the offer. Man, my head all over the place. What else did he say, y'all? That's why I try my best. Hold up, y'all. He got bag. A bag is different. A bag is somebody saying, please, come on, go. I know somebody going to say, but yeah, Shane, he could still get offered something. Look, man, this dude right here, man, I thought I was going to be all right doing this demonstration. Y'all.
And my uncle knows the passengers wouldn't have helped. Generally wouldn't have helped with anything. With that many people on a boat, you need a little bit of help. So my uncle was like, hey, can you just ride out with me and you can go do your thing throughout the day on the island? I don't care. I don't need you. I just need help to get out there and then pick everything up. Because I know all these people are going to be drunk and they're not going to want to do the extras that nobody sees about going out on the boat, right? And so I told Wyatt that, and oops, my bad. But I told him, I told him that, and I told him everything, which was go to plan. We were leaving a little bit earlier than them. I was going to try to have a spot saved out. And Nolan calls me at 11 o'clock. I missed his phone call. Called me twice. I missed both of them. I saw Wyatt and Nolan on the boat. They pulled right in front of our boat, and they were screaming. I turned my head, and I was like, yo, there's a spot over there, where they end up anchoring out. I helped them set their stern anchor. From the time they showed up until now, going back to it, 20 minutes before they left, I was with them. That's who I was with. I spent all day with them, minus the morning time before they got out there. But from the time they got out there to the time they went back in, I was with them. Those are my friends, man. Those are my guys.
Yeah, I want to get a few more details.
I'm sorry about that.
I know that. Yeah, go ahead. I know that you were all over the news because there was a perceived fight. People, this is the thing that gets me, and I want to clarify this. When I saw the video that they put out on the internet claiming that Nolan was saying, "Give me my effing phone back," the coach came out. Nolan's coach came out and said immediately he knew it wasn't Nolan's voice, and obviously it wasn't Nolan's voice because you were the one that was
me yelling,
in there yelling, and you got into an altercation with somebody. What happened after that? Like, put me in your place where the fight is over, whatever happened.
I gotta stop it right there. Why not ask him, why was you saying give you your effing phone? Why he didn't say, and the reason why I was saying give me my effing phone, because they had my phone, when I was rumbling, when I was on one, when I was doing this, they grabbed my phone. And I'm like, man, give me my phone. Why aren't you following up, sir, with follow-up questions? We want to know. Okay, so it wasn't Nolan saying, give me my freaking phone. It was Tracestin who had your phone. Why did they have your phone? Did you end up getting your phone back? Is it just Shankrock? Or wouldn't all of you want to know the same thing? We want to know all of the unanswered questions. Come on. You can't make this up, man. My bad, y'all. My bad. I know y'all like, nah, Shank, you good. Do your thing, Shank.
This is the thing that gets me, and I want to clarify this. When I saw the video that they put out on the internet claiming that Nolan was saying, give me my effing phone back, the coach came out, Nolan's coach came out and said immediately he knew it wasn't Nolan's voice. And obviously it wasn't Nolan's voice because you were the one that was
me yelling,
in there yelling, and you got into an altercation with somebody. What happened after that? Like, put me in your place where the fight is over, whatever happened. Nolan is somewhere, you're somewhere, you're hanging out. And when was the last time that you saw Nolan before you left Horn Island?
So, after the fight, I didn't stay on Horn Island much longer. So I was really upset. So with you hear me yelling, my uncle had told me to get on the boat and wouldn't let me back off the boat. Obviously, I was really mad and I wanted to fight, wanted to get off. What wasn't smart, man. And so I was on the boat, I'm yelling, and shortly after that, I left the island. I left probably 30 to 45 minutes after I got into a fight. We started to pack up and left because I was so upset. As Javon mentions, that they were ready to get me back to land because I was really mad. I was genuinely really mad. But the last time I saw Nolan, I was walking to the boat. This was before the fight. It's me and my old lady. We had just got out of a group of people. Nolan was walking towards Wyatt's boat. I was walking in the opposite direction towards my boat. And I dabbed Nolan up. I made a slick comment about something, actually about the girl that he was with. I made a slick comment to him. I was joking around, and I kept going. And not even 10 minutes after that is when I got into a fight. Last thing I told Nolan was, all right, buddy, I love you. See you later.
Now, let me stop. Now, maybe, because, you know, Nolan is liked by everybody. But he say that the fight was about because the dude said something to him about how he was treating his girl, right? Now, maybe the dude seen how he treated his girl, but maybe before that, maybe he seen how he was cracking slick on Nolan. One thing that I know about people, in a large crowd like that, and he's the hot head. He was the hot head. Most times, there's going to be always somebody that's going to call you out. Somebody is in the cut. Somebody going to see this shenanigans that he doing. Somebody going to say, you doing all that ish to them. Man, why you saying that stuff to so-and-so? Pick on me. Pick on me. Yo, you are leaving out so much. You really are. Why did you say whatever it is that you said to Nolan? Why did you make that slick comment? Let me come to my chat. And this is something that I know about everybody that's watching this demonstration, regardless of your religion, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of your race, regardless if you up north, south, east, west, regardless if you're in another country. Everybody has had somebody at least once in their life say something slick out the way to them. Everybody has had one time in their life somebody to crack slick on them. Now, could it have been that Nolan, right? Appreciate the membership. Please don't forget to hit that like button. So could it have been that this dude, I'm just asking, could it have been that the dude that Tracestin was fighting was one of Nolan's other friends? And so Nolan chose to ride back with them, or Nolan chose to chill with them. Who knows? There's a lot of unanswered questions here. But I want and I need everybody to zoom in on him saying something slick. Not only did he get into it with Nolan, well, not only did he say something slick about Nolan, he said something slick to his girl. Him and his girl got into it. And then he got into the altercation with whoever it was that he was in this fight with. We want to know what this fight was about. Fam, check Ocean Springs, Max, prep roster, dude not on the team, only Nolan and Javon. How he played ball with Nolan and overseas then. Facts. And I'm going to make sure I check that out. I appreciate you. Jealousy. Officer Tatum had edited this video a million times. They're saying something. The fight was with Nolan. That's why Warren's friend were demanding him to get on the damn boat. Tracestin did say they were his boys. Facts. He said something about Katie, and what did Nolan say back? He omits too much. Facts. You ain't tell us what Nolan said back. Our guess, Nolan is just so friendly, and Nolan gets along with everybody, and Nolan just smiled. Same way when Warren said to Nolan, you crazy dude. Nolan just smiled. Right. That's what I said. They turned on Nolan and took Javon's side because of Katie. Being Javon's ex-girlfriend, she did that to make Javon jealous. I see you, Miss Parker. Slick but joking. I think Nolan and him got into it. I think so too. I agree. Yeah, brother, dude capping. I do. You ain't telling me that Nolan ain't say nothing back. And even the coach said, hi, Ms. Parker, thanks so much. Even this is still zero evidence of crime. Even the coach said, Nolan, if something kicked off, Nolan would definitely protect himself. One of them said the same thing. I think it was him or either Wyatt. I know it was either him or either Warren that said the same thing. Nolan wasn't a troublemaker, but Nolan would protect himself. Listen, y'all, listen. No man is just going to allow people to crack slick on them. I don't care how Christian like they are. I don't care how godly. I don't care how good and friendly. It's in a man's nature. It's in a man's nature. No man is just going to let anybody just take shots at him. No, that's not how this thing works.
I had been under the influence a little bit, and that's probably why I did say it at the time, just, you know, getting all lovey-dovey, but...
Do not get a consolidated...
Under the influence of what?
Lopez here, and if you're thinking about getting a...
I'm at peace, I said it. I'm glad I said it. That was my last encounter with Nolan. I was telling him I love him.
Did you have any... So you leave the island... Did you have any encounters or association with these phones, with the keys? Did you have any connection to any of that?
I did not. So what I know, Warren started, I got my first phone call from Warren at about 9:20. I didn't answer it. I was asleep. I'd been on the boat all day. I didn't feel like going to party anymore. I went to bed. So I got my first phone call about 9:20, and I didn't wake up again until a little after 11 o'clock. And that was to my brother coming in the room being like, hey, Warren's trying to get a hold of you. You need to answer the phone to look for Nolan. And I'm half awake, and I pick up the phone. And by this time, nobody had came to the house to grab anything. And Warren gets on the phone, and he's just like, hey, man, he was like, hey, have you talked to Nolan? Anything else? I was like, no, I haven't talked to him, man. He was with that girl last time I knew. And he was like, okay. He was like, man, we can't get a hold of him. We don't know where he's at. And I was like, man, it's Nolan. He's probably just out somewhere with that girl. Like, get a hold of the girl, you'll probably find Nolan. It's no big deal. And he was like, all right. He was like, but we're starting to freak out. We're getting on the phone with Coast Guard. I was like, okay. And at that time, he had already talked to his mom, Nolan's mom. And he was getting on the phone with the Coast Guard. And I called. I need to be specific about this.
Yes, you need to be specific about everything. Dude, y'all see it? DH, I don't know what your funky ass is smoking on, DH. I don't know what the hell your funky ass is drinking, DH. I mean, come on, DH, and everybody else that still is trying to cover for these guys. I just don't know. Maybe DH and everybody else is smoking on the same ish that, matter of fact, how about this? Maybe DH and the others is sniffing the same ish that these two jokers have been sniffing. I dropped the link, y'all. I can't do this by myself. I can't. If anybody want to join me on a panel, feel free to click on that blue stream, y'all link. But Linda, I can't do this by myself. This dude right here, let me come to my chat. Replay gang, just give me a minute. Replay gang, give me a minute, y'all. Mia says he full of ish and lies. DC, she seemed popular in a lot of ways. I believe so. Ask DH who those people that seen him are. I only heard it from the boys. Facts. Where are the people? Where's the person that said they saw him at 6 p.m., DH? That girl. Smoking on some bad weed. Him and Warren went to private school together. That's his real partner. The alcohol was an excuse for them to say something to Nolan. Another unanswered interview. Shank going off. DH is on everybody podcast being a mega. Oh, so I'm not the only podcast you on, DH, huh? All right. Sniffing. Katie got that milkshake. Y'all men step up. They all like Katie and was mad at her as well. And that's what I said. Katie was a nice looking YT. And one thing about a lot of, not all of them, but one thing about a lot of the YT men, they don't mind melanated men dating they plus size women. They don't mind the melanated men dating the women that aren't Barbies and things of the nature. But when we start dating they Barbies, a lot of them don't like that. And we talking about Mississippi, y'all. We talking about the state of Mississippi. Do Katie have a baby? Do they think they're better than her? A lot of fighting was going on. Them boys got mad at Nolan because he was out there macking and wasn't with all that other BS they had going on. Facts. Who is DH? DH in the chat. He's in the chat, Justice. I've been worried of Tracestin ever since he said he was Nolan's best friend. But Nolan's mother said she didn't know him. Facts. Hold up, y'all. He's a diabolical liar. Sniffing. I looked at the three guys' facial expressions on that. One looked like a psycho, the other a hater, which was the muscle guy shown later over him beaten. The other one gained his trust. We don't know that they was talking about Katie. She said they only spoke briefly. Correct. And maybe that's why he keeps saying that girl. You're telling the truth, sadly. Was he there with them till they left, or did he leave early because of the fight, or was it that he only left 20 minutes before they left? He done told too many different stories. Facts. That boat. I see you, Mel. No, they don't. DH, we can't go off of the same statement from the boys without any cooperating statements from anyone else. What sounds better, a 125K to talk or probably 250K to stay quiet or lie? They want Katie, but Katie wanted Nolan. DH is a troll up in here. That's the beginning of Jen name we can't pronounce. DH on all channels. We appreciate you, brother. Now, DH, I thought I was special, DH. DH, I thought I was special. I see you, Mel. DH, you got me up here crying, man. I thought I was special. Now I come to find out that I got to share you with all the other platforms. You broke my heart, DH. You hurt my feelings, DH. I thought you was mine, and I thought you was my only. DH says he said he had evidence and gave it to the police. DH dude lied about playing high school ball with Nolan. How can we believe anything he said? They set that young man up, and he was the last to know. Facts. Nolan's mother don't know you, Trey. They getting paid off of Tracestin. All right, y'all. I'm gonna come back to the interview with him, y'all. Yep. Katie's heart was for Nolan, and her family, friendly mom and sister were fine, stating she was with Nolan. There are two Katies. The other Katie is one of the boys' mom. All right, y'all. When it's your birthday, DH, I'm going to tell everybody not to wish you happy birthday, DH. Y'all know I like to wish happy birthdays to my moderators, my Rock Squad members, and everybody else that come over here. Well, DH, you're not getting a happy birthday from me or none of my people. Keep that in mind, DH, since you broke my heart. Let's go, y'all.
I called another one of our buddies' phone, and it was on speakerphone. They were all together. I was talking on my other buddy's phone, talking to Warren. He was dialing Coast Guard because he hung up the phone and was like, hey, this is them, bye, and hung up the phone. And that was the last time I talked to him until the next morning when we all decided, well, when I woke up about 7 o'clock that morning, we had all decided that we were going to go out in the boat and go look for Nolan. Wyatt had already had his boat still in the water. We took that boat out. It was
what day are we talking?
That's Sunday morning.
Sunday morning on the 5th. The 5th?
So it was Saturday the 4th was the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. The 5th was Sunday. We were on the water from 9:45 to 11:50, 12 o'clock era, about lunchtime. Mm-hmm. While we were on the water, we talked to a rescue guy, and he told us to get off the water and said that they kind of had the island and the water under control. That's the professionals, man. Yeah. They told us to get on social media and find out any information we can. And by that time, we had already talked to a good amount of people out there. So it just made sense. So we went back in and we concluded our search and started the search off socials and started sharing everything we could and trying to get a hold of anybody that could have talked to Nolan, that Nolan possibly would have reached out to. And that led into the night. It led all night long. I didn't sleep at all. Sunday, Monday, I was up at 5 a.m. I was putting fuel in our boat at 6. I got told that we were taking out another boat to Chandelier at 7. So I put my boat back on the lift, and I went to McDonald's, and then I got the news. I left McDonald's that his body was found. So it was already a plan that we were going and searching and trying to do everything we possibly can. And that's all I wanted to do. Is I wasn't there to help him out in his last minutes, but now I feel like as a friend and as one of my guys, man, I do everything in my power to help now. And that's why I have reached out to the family. I have donated to the family, and I have giving them just your normal death gifts, I would say, as you pay your respects. And
do you think Benjamin Crump being involved in this case made it better or worse?
100,000 times % worse. Because why on a Tuesday after where has your civil rights been broken? Where has it been shown? You brought Benjamin Crump to stir up a community that's already tight-knit. Yeah, we might not be best friends with everybody, but I promise, if you're talking about Ocean Springs as a whole, Ocean Springs is going to have Ocean Springs back 110%.
Stop right there, y'all.
We back each other.
He said, we back each other. Stop right there. And we're seeing what is going on in this case. This is why it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for Nolan's family, for Nolan's mom to get the justice that she's looking for. Nolan's mom wants it to be done the proper way. She wants the courts to, get the justice. It's going to be hard. Excuse me, y'all. It's going to be hard. In order for Nolan to receive real justice, we're going to have to change plans. His mom is going to have to change plans. Because we've seen this play so many times before. We've seen it so many times before. Y'all can already see. The coroner was the first one to receive Nolan's body. The name just slipped my mind. I had it. But the coroner had its body first. Then the medical examiner, right? Now the coroner couldn't determine. The medical examiner said drowning. The sheriff say drowning. The judge comes. Well, the judge been in. The governor, now the DA, and all of these officials are YT. Now the grand jury got to get it. I don't know who's going to be on that grand jury. Do anybody want to take a shot at who's going to be on that grand jury? Now, this is what was told to me. Well, this is what the legal experts said, that it's going to be how the DA presents the case to the grand jury. I don't know. I see you, Ms. Parker. Shout out to everybody that's watching it from Twitch. That's what a legal expert said. Everything with the grand jury depends on how it's presented to them. So if the DA is going to present the case to the grand jury, we could pretty much already know. And that's why the DA won't come up off of no evidence, especially that autopsy, because she know if she released anything to the public, this is what we know for a fact. We know that if she releases that Mississippi autopsy report along with the toxicology report, and if it's jacked up, we're going to know it's jacked up from the private autopsy report. If that Stacey Turner released that autopsy report and it doesn't say it was a drowning, it's released to the public. So whatever she releases to the public, she's going to have to take it to that grand jury. So if she never releases anything to the public, then she can hide it from the grand jury. Even if it is a selective grand jury that's going to be fair and rule it how it's supposed to be ruled. Everything depends on how that DA presented to the grand jury.
Everybody I've seen, we back each other. And for them to push this narrative and really push it just shows me is like you have no idea who you're dealing with or who you're messing with. And I think he's taking the grieving parents and manipulating and turning this and making it sound all bad, because nothing's like that at all. No.
Have you gotten death threats? Or, because I know that the other young men that I spoke to about this, especially the white young men, they're getting all kind of death threats. They're being accused of killing Nolan. Did you get the same backlash and threats that some of those guys have gotten?
Yes, I've gotten the death threats per se, but I've also gotten the threats along the lines of where it's like I've been cast out of the black community. I've been called white. I've been called a wetback. All these things. I've been sent photos of me and my grandmother, and they've been told that she's the devil. She's just looking for the time to kill you. You need to be careful and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, man, if y'all want to know the story.
Whatever he's sniffing, whatever he been bipping, whatever it is, it's that goodish. God damn, the dude, his nose bigger than Shank Rock nose. I thought I had a big nose. Like, God damn, every time you turn around. Is it me? Or are y'all saying the same thing? I'm like, damn, give me some of that shit.
The only people that's showed up for me in my whole life has been my white side of my family. So for y'all to sit there and drag their name and to drag me down, and I'm supposed to be one of y'all, and you're supposed to have my back, and we're supposed to be in this together, and it's really eye-opening.
Did it shock you that it turned this way? meaning that, you see everything happen. Nolan was your friend. From all the young men I talked to, it seemed like Nolan was the life of the party. Everybody loved Nolan. He gets along with everybody. Everybody's cool. And everybody feels like Nolan made them feel like everybody's his best friend, right? I mean, everybody felt connected to Nolan. Were you shocked that it turned like this? I mean, where this community was tight-knit, Nolan's friend group was tight. He ends up losing his life in an unfortunate situation, which nobody knows exactly what happened. Did it shock you that it turned into some racial thing?
Yes, racial, I do agree. Now, it going famous or going viral, that part didn't shock me. Thinking about it and being honest, like, that's not a surprise because everybody didn't love Nolan. Especially around here, everybody loved Nolan. So for people to repost that, they know Nolan. I mean, they know he did not have one hateful thing in his heart. And racism, no. That was a shock. That was a complete shock from his mom and from his stepdad. Like, that's a shock. That's an utter shock because it's like, first off, I don't know how to word this. Nolan wasn't fully black. Nolan's mixed. Nolan has a little bit of Asian in it. You don't hear that, though. You don't. So to turn it as like somebody's harping down on Nolan because of the color of his skin, you don't know us. You don't know our community. It's crazy that people are just running with a lie. And it's so easy for people to believe it from the outside, looking into Mississippi's history, per se. But it's like, you're looking at history. Let's go to each state's history. I bet they're not the best with black people. Like, people change. You learn history so you don't repeat it. Everybody knows that.
What's the craziest lie that you've seen floating around there about this situation? I know there's a lot of mysterious things, but like, to you, what's the craziest thing that you've heard somebody say about this?
That my buddy in the photo was his lover. That was wild. That's been the utmost craziest because it's like, what? Like, where'd you get that from?
Yeah.
I mean, also the lies of just how racist Mississippi is, or how racist the coast is, and Ocean Springs, and no, you don't know this, man. Like, you have no idea. And what I thought was crazy from the beginning was he's the only black person on the boat. He's the only black person on the island. No, not at all. Like, not once. Like, where'd you get this background information from?
How many people are on that island from your vantage point?
On the 4th of July?
Yeah.
Thousands? 13 miles? Like, I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of boats that are carrying minimum 4 to 8, 9 people. Like, I'm talking like on the lower end, man. We're talking about smaller vessels here. Man, if I had to take a rough estimate in my area of the island that I was in, 400, 500 people easy. If I'm taking an actual estimate of 400 to 500 people easy. In our group, and the group of, I would say, young adults that were in the group of Nolan Wells, 100, 150, 200 people.
So the idea that Nolan went out with 4 white boys and they took him to a deserted island and he was allegedly last seen with a girl and they just abandoned him. What do you say to that? From the time they left, including myself, and also when I left the island, I could have named 50 people I really trust behind the helm of a boat that Nolan knew, that he could go talk to. Even if he was left,
there was tons and tons of people out there. There was 10 boats that camped out at Horn Island. I know a boat that didn't leave Horn Island until 8 o'clock that night.
Gym bro tank top or celebrity tank top. Unless you want to look like you're trying too hard, you can get
Nobody would have ever seen, take that back, nobody would have ever left somebody on Horn Island. That's a place where everybody loves to go and hang out. That's their peace. Nobody wants to see anybody out there, especially in the boating community. And I can speak on that, like, genuinely. I grew up in it. That's absurd. It's absurd.
So can you help me understand the fight a little better? Because I interviewed Warren, who's your friend, and he had made mention that his brother was involved in the fight. So can you explain who actually started fighting, and were you fighting his brother, or were you fighting somebody else? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, and I can see now, especially, it's all been blown out of proportion. But so originally, I'll go back a couple steps. Me and my girlfriend, I wouldn't even call it an argument. She was upset that I lost the lid to her koozie. I dropped it in the water. Generally speaking, that's how it started. And I dropped her new koozie in the water. And so she started to let me hear it and basically told me I was paying for it. And she was really upset with me and mad about it. And I needed to kind of sober up a little bit. And so we're walking back. And during that time, this guy that I'm not friends with, I know of him. I don't know him. I didn't even recognize him when I got in an original fight. He had butted himself into my conversation and basically was telling me how I needed to handle or address the situation with my girlfriend. And man, we weren't even yelling at each other. We weren't arguing. It was more along the lines of, I literally told her, I was like, man, I just want a beer. And she was like, well, go get one, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I said that, she had ducked her head underwater, and he had walked up, and he told me that I needed to watch how I talked to my girlfriend. And I looked at him, and I told him, I was like, this has nothing to do with you. We're good. This has nothing to do with you. And he sat there, and he was like, well, I'm going to tell you, I better not hear it again. And I looked at him, and I was like, you need to excuse yourself from the situation. And after I came out, he swung. He threw the fudge punch. And we went back and forth. I remember at one point in time, I look over and I see my uncle, and my uncle's yelling at me to get in the boat. I stopped fighting. As soon as me and him made eye contact, I got in the boat, I'm sorry. And I listened to my uncle.
And what was Warren's brother involvement in this?
And so I was getting there. So when I'm on the boat and they're trying to cool me down, I'm trying to get back off the boat because I see the crowd forming up on the island. Well, my little brother and Carter are like really good friends, like best friends, I would say. He's over at our house all the time. Carter heard him still talking crap as he's getting out of the water, and I'm on the boat, and the situation is like done and over with, right? Well, he sees him talking crap, so Carter gets up, and more along the lines of defending me. And for what? He was like, well, if you got a problem with Tracestin, we can handle it right here.
So what's the racial breakup of these people that are involved? So the guy that you fought was
white. I'm the only black guy involved in this whole entire thing.
Yeah.
And at all. Like, I mean, I don't know. Carter is white. The dude I got in a fight with is white. Mm-hmm. I was the only black guy involved with this. My girlfriend's white. My uncle's white. There was no other black guy involved. And I know Ben Crump tried to run with a story saying that was Nolan. Mm. Well, it was like, nice try. But there was another black guy on the island, so now your whole narrative needs to change again.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, but that was Carter's involvement, and that was kind of it. Like, after the fight, man, I remember getting off the boat. I got off the boat, and I walked up to the island, and I was telling people, I was like, hey, like, I just need to cool off. Like, let me be. This is after everything is dispersed. There was no crowd anymore when I walked off the boat. And I was like, I'm letting it be. Well, again, my uncle yelled at me, and I was like, I don't care what you're doing. Get back on the boat. We're leaving. So I got back on the boat, and we left shortly after that.
Well, at least I know you from the interviews that you've done. Some of the other boys haven't spoken out at all.
Yeah.
You've had a chance to use your voice to put the truth out there. You did an interview with, I think, ABC, and you also did an interview with the Rolling Stones.
That was my first interview, with Rolling Stone.
The first interview was Rolling Stones, then ABC?
And then ABC, yes.
Now, from what you told me before this interview is that the Rolling Stones gave you a very fair interview. It seemed like the young lady who interviewed you articulated very clearly what you told her with no fluff, no nothing added.
And she cared. She really did care. And she made sure that what she was telling was the complete truth behind everything with me, with my uncle, and then also fact-checking on her side as being in media. And it all aligned, man. And when they came out with that, it was really genuine. When I felt that, it brought me to tears because it was like, that's the truth. That's exactly how it needed to be worded. And I appreciated her. I appreciated her a lot. And we took her out to One Island this morning to do another little bit. But she's done well, and that's the truth. Her story is nothing but the truth.
Now, ABC, on the other hand, did they treat you fairly, or how did they go?
So, I don't want to say they treated me unfairly. The quotes that he used in the article, he did ask me for my permission on it. And I gave it to him.
Born before 1962, you can qualify for quad at wholesale prices. I wish my husband started.
To an extent, I changed up some stuff, and that he initially didn't change when he came out with it. And then the voice recording, that's really what gets me, because that's what the main people are listening to, right? They're not going in and reading in depth in the article and really seeing everything. They're just going off about what's on TV, because people don't like to read these days. But how they made that and cut a lot of my voice sounded horrible. Sounded bad. I didn't like it. I didn't like that side of it, but it already aired, so what was I going to do? Really?
And at one point, I could have sworn you said that you didn't feel comfortable doing the interview on camera.
Yes.
And did you do that because you didn't want to be visibly promoted on television, or what? How did that?
So the side of that, and I didn't want to be on camera for two main reasons. I never wanted to do an interview and get famous. I never wanted any attention, per se, famous attention. I don't care about the negative side of it. I'm doing what I think is right. I never wanted any positive attention, let's say. All I wanted to be is for my guys to know that I had their back and I got Nolan's back. And I didn't want the investigation especially on social media side, I guess, and with Ben Crump and their legal team, to go down the wrong path at all. That was my sole purpose, is to tell the truth and to clear up lies. When I talked to ABC, they wanted to do an in-person interview, and I told them no. I told them no because I'm getting death threats, and I don't like them. It is what it is. I'm not putting myself out there any more than I need to. And I'm not sitting behind the camera and so for somebody to watch me talk about my best friend. And I told him, I was like, if you want to do an article, it's okay. I'll talk and you can do the article on that side of it. I never originally wanted to go on TV, period. He convinced me into only using my voice, which now I regret, and I wish I would have just sat in front of a camera so you can visibly see the cuts. But they manipulated that interview pretty well. They made it sound a lot worse. And I know for a fact, most of that interview, you can't understand me because I was in tears the entire time talking about it. When he asked me about Nolan's death, and he put it if you listen to it carefully, he cuts it and I just say die. Nobody wants to see him die. I Don't talk like that, man.
So now he wants to convince us that when he said nobody wanted to see Nolan die, now he's trying to convince us that it's chopped and screwed. Well, you're not famous and you're still irrelevant. That's some narcissistic mess. Shaking my head. He's supposed friend isn't here anyway. Hold up, y'all. This best friend word again. Did that guy ever say who had his phone that he claimed was him on audio saying, give me my phone back? He never said it, Johnny. He never said the reason why I'm on the audio saying, give me my, you know what, phone back is because when I was fighting, you know, somebody grabbed my phone, or he never said it. Never mentioned it. It's the right hand for me. Nolan does not seem like a person who likes confrontation. Yep. They're going to question his girlfriend. Right. He's a bully. Yeah, the friend word is played out. Let's assume your theory is correct for a minute. How were they supposed to get his body in the water without anyone seeing this? I'm old enough to peep game for real. Facts. The way he talked about Nolan's family, he couldn't have been a friend ever. Facts. Yep, he was all of y'all's best friend, but y'all were his enemies. Facts. Pharaohs. That's facts, right? See, that's when you gotta watch. You gotta watch the friends and the people. Yeah, he was liked by everybody, and yeah, and nobody never had an issue with Nolan. Well, you know, man, Nolan was real cool and everything. You know, we had our ups and downs and everything. You mean to tell me the whole time y'all had friendships, all of my day ones, all of my friends, we've been in fights with each other. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes they wrong. I mean, come on. That's just how it goes. So you mean to tell me you and Nolan ain't never had no fallouts? Y'all, come on, dude, stop it. And I'm not saying that that's like that with everybody, because there's probably is some people out there that never had issues with their friends, but not him. Not him. Not this hothead. Not this hothead. But they say they called Nolan all day. Well, they had his phone. Didn't they hear it ring? Facts. When his mother got his phone back, it wasn't dead. So think about it. They called Nolan all day. Facts. No one not saying that, but it's giving bully behavior from that boy. He is. I seen this type all the time. I seen this type of guy all the time, y'all. He's too slick for his own good. He's just too slick. You on an interview. You're on an interview. You're on an interview that's going to be viewed by the whole world. That's how you present yourself. Your hat to the back. Right? Your hat to the back. You got your arms folded like you don't care. That's a person that don't care. Just look at him. Look at his shirt. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Probably wasn't him that gave my phone back. I mean, just look at him. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Are you serious? It wasn't about anyone seeing Nolan 911 dispatch could have come to get him. Who cares who saw it? You're telling on yourself. Facts. Isn't he Javon's brother? No, this not Javon's brother. Oh, no, this ain't Javon's brother. He looks like that type hothead. He a hothead. The word die-ish. Like Nas, oh, they messed up the interview. No, they didn't. He's a hothead, exactly. Yeah, I could tell. Facts. Hold up, y'all. Shank, I need to message you. I'll be in your TikTok messages. Okay, go ahead and send them to me on my TikTok. He wasn't even on the boat. What the you know what are you talking like this for? Facts. He paints the perfect friendship. Facts. Facts. Y'all ain't never Y'all been friends since the 9th grade and y'all ain't never had not one fallout or nothing. Oh, Lord, Nolan ignored the sign. He did. I think something happened on that boat. We all think that, Justice. Exactly. Like, if you talk to everybody will tell you, yeah, me and my friends, we didn't have our argument, especially when you're younger. Now, of course, when you get older, nah. He looks like he likes picking fights. I know his type. Facts. That's facts. And if you would like to support the channel by way of cash donation, my cash app is $ERICMCINT, or you can purchase a super sticker, super chat, or a membership. Man, DH just confessed hypothetically in these comments. Yeah, DH don't understand that we watching you, DH. I'm watching you. My moderator's watching you. The Rock Squad watching you. Even the new people that's just pulling up. We watching you, DH. You done just confessed. So exactly who is DH? Could DH be the judge? Could DH be Tracestin? Could DH be Warren, Wyatt? Who actually are you, DH? He is a teenager. Like, we ain't never seen this before. He's not, because he knows he was the only one starting stuff. That's why. This interview isn't about Nolan. It's more about making Crump look bad. Facts. Key West clothing line. That's facts. Do you think that Crump made the case even worse? Before Crump got the case, people were saying it's foul play. Before Crump got the case, his mom wasn't happy with the answers that she was getting. What are you talking about? Nolan was jumped in our opinions and look at his stance. I do believe they made edits. Views timestamp 827-903 of his interview. He said he was with Nolan and Wyatt the whole time until he saw them leaving to go back to Wyatt's boat, I'm sure. He said their boat was parked by his. Facts. Facts. Get them, Lord. I don't see a DH in the comments unless they have me blocked. Maybe they got you blocked, Justice. I'm still asked, isn't he Javon's brother? No, that's not Javon's brother. No. Come on, y'all. Have a real moment. He wants it to go on quickly and quietly to lose information again. All right, let me come back. I'll get back to the chat. Yeah, I ain't mean to. I see you, Sonia. I ain't mean to skip over nobody's comment. Sonia says his mother was on the case way before Ben Crump. What are they talking about? Facts.
In our interview, but I said we didn't want to see his life being taken from us, period. They didn't put that. They twisted some things around and they almost made a different narrative to where it's like now people are coming out and lying. Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, no.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were gonna. I remember I was like, I could have sworn he said he didn't want to be on camera, and they put your picture all over the news. I mean, how did you feel about that? Was that something that you were okay with them doing it, or?
I kind of accepted it. I accepted it because I gave Rolling Stone permission to do it. So I know that's where they probably got that original photo of me and him standing next to each other.
But still, that's kind of weird that you tell them, I don't want to, even if you gave you the permission to Rolling Stones, you go, I don't want to be on camera. And they put your picture up there on camera anyway.
I agree. It is weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's odd, but.
At what point did you realize doctors were just managing your pain, not ending it? Because I'm 60 and
Generally speaking, man, like, I'm worried about my family's safety, but I have no regrets in what I've done and what I've said. Not one. I sleep better at night now that I've spoken up and I felt like I've done my part of the good, and I'm willing to help any other time if anything else pops up that I can't help with. And I genuinely just want the truth to be heard about it all, and it kills me and it breaks my heart that my best friends are going through this. Like, this is at home. This isn't something I'm just watching through a screen, listening to you talk about it or listening to somebody else talk about it. I'm living this. I'm getting the calls from my buddies crying, asking me how I'm not scared out of my mind. how am I okay dealing with all this?
So one thing that kind of stood out to me, there was a big contradiction on television, was you said in your interview that you were really, really good friends with Nolan, his best friend. Nolan's mother said on television that as if she don't even know you and she don't know who you are, and you're definitely not, at least is what she alluded to, you're definitely not his best friend. So what's the truth in that, and how did that affect you? How did that make you feel?
So she originally touched and she said that we weren't childhood best friends, and she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I moved to Ocean Springs in 9th grade.
And that's what she said. Because you tried to say that we was best friends. We was from, but now when she said, I don't know this dude. Now it's, oh, well, she's not wrong. We didn't grow up from the, we became friends in 9th grade. Exactly. And so that's what you should have said. You had everybody believing from your first interview that y'all were friends since 5, 6, 7 years old. You cannot twist the narrative. And that's what y'all are trying to do. And it's sad. I'm telling y'all, it's sad. Like I said, and like everybody else said, yeah, come for us. Come for Ben Crump. But Nolan's mom, y'all sitting up here, Officer Tatum, you sitting up here trying to make the mom of Nolan look bad. People are sending crazy messages to the mom. People are talking about the mom is on a money grab. That right there lets you know the character. That lets you know the heart. That lets you know the soul of the individual that you're dealing with. Right there. If you don't got respect for the deceased's mom, if you don't got respect for the deceased's family, that right there tell you a lot. That tells you a lot about Tracestin. That tells you a lot about Officer Tatum. Now he's saying, well, she wasn't wrong. We know she wasn't wrong because she don't know you, dude. And if you was his BF from here, she would know you. Come on, dude. Y'all make it harder than what it is. This is why people come after you, Tracestin, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's almost over with, y'all. The interview is almost over with.
His best friend. Nolan's mother said on television that as if she don't even know you and she don't know who you are, and you're definitely not, at least is what she alluded to, you're definitely not his best friend. So what's the truth in that, and how did that affect you? How did that make you feel?
So she originally touched and she said that we weren't childhood best friends, and she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I moved to Ocean Springs in 9th grade. I met Nolan in 9th grade, as I've stated in my Rolling Stone interview. Nolan was my best friend, though. She can believe it or not, that was my best friend. No, me and her never had a sit-down, in-depth conversation like me and you're having now. It was always, hey, how are you doing? I've been to her house multiple times. I've taken Nolan to school multiple times. I've left my vehicle at her house multiple times, even including the new vehicle I just got. Has gotten left at her house for 2 days. And I just got it. I haven't even had it for 4 months. My vehicle before that stayed at her house for almost a week. Me and her son went on trips together. We went to Florida for spring break together. You don't know me? I'm in all these homecoming and prom photos as our whole friend group. Me and Nolan are standing next to each other. You don't know me. Nolan's last name is Wells. My last name at one point in time was Walker. We were by each other in the alphabet when we graduated.
What the hell? Man, this dude is sniffing coke, man. Allegedly. This dude is sniffing that good coke, that fish scale, the coke that was from back in the days that the Jamaicans brought back in the 80s. He's sniffing that fish scale. You don't know me. I feel like Martin, y'all. I feel like Martin when Brother Man from 5th floor. You can't make this ish up. I feel like, bruh, man, from 5th floor, when he used to raid Martin's apartment, Martin would just be like, Martin would be like, this dude, listen to it now. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Then listen to this dude. He says that Nolan's last name is Wells. His last name is Walk or Walt or something like that. We both got W's. I'm trying, Lord. So, because of the year in the yearbook, because they got W's in their last name, so they oh my goodness, man. Please, man. Please, Lord have mercy. This dude right here, woo. Look, hold up. All right, I can't take this. Let me backtrack this ish. Woo. He can sleep better now because he done an interview. Well, what about all the death threats? So man, I can't do this with this dude. Let me hurry up. Hold up, y'all. This dude right here, because him and Nolan both got W's in their last name, the mom should have recognized in the yearbook. Or let me stop. Lord, J-Bone. Hey, hey, Lord, I can't do this. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. I can't do this. I
Got left at her house for 2 days. And I haven't even had it for 4 months. My vehicle before that stayed at her house for almost a week. Me and her son went on trips together. We went to Florida for spring break together. You don't know me? I'm in all these homecoming and prom photos as our whole friend group. Me and Nolan are standing next to each other. You don't know me. Nolan's last name is Wells. My last name at one point in time was Walker. We were by each other in the alphabet when we graduated. Man,
who the fuck? Lord have mercy. Like, yo, who is you? We was together in the yearbook because the out. Like, who the hell is you? Like when she in the year, I'm up here crying, yo. Like when she looking at Nolan in the yearbook, and okay, Nolan last name is Wells. His at once upon a time was Walker. So just because she is the W's, okay, now she see this joker. Oh man, I got tears coming down my eyes. Shank give him the benefit of the doubt. How can I get this dude? Who do he think he is? He think he bigger than the program because he got a W in his last. I can't stop Sonia because he won't stop. I got 10. J-Bone, somebody come and rescue me. Chrissy, Kay, Savannah, even DH, Mia, Belinda, DH. Okay, DH. DH, I apologize to you, DH. I know I said I wasn't going to wish you a happy birthday, but DH, can you come rescue me from this guy right here? Somebody please and come and rescue me from this guy. Love Jones, Smurf, Dee 80s baby, Victorious. This guy says because him and Nolan got W's in their last name, the mom should know him. I'm through. Lord have mercy on my soul. I don't know what to do. Damn. Lord have mercy on my soul. I don't know what to do, y'all. Oh, man, I'm messed up for real. Oh, man, I don't. Hold up, y'all. Please bear with me. And those on the replay gang, please bear with Shank Rock. Please.
friends. And she's not wrong. she's not wrong. I moved to Ocean Springs in 9th grade. I met Nolan in 9th grade, as I've stated in my Rolling Stone interview. Nolan was my best friend, though. She can believe it or not, that was my best friend. No, me and her never had a sit-down, in-depth conversation like me and you're having now. It was always, hey, how are you doing? I've been to her house multiple times. I've taken Nolan to school multiple times. I've left my vehicle at her house multiple times, even including the new vehicle I just got. Has gotten left at her house for 2 days. And I just got it. I haven't even had it for 4 months. My vehicle before that stayed at her house for almost a week. Me and her son went on trips together. We went to Florida for spring break together. You don't know me? I'm in all these homecoming and prom photos as our whole friend group. Me and Nolan are standing next to each other. You don't know me. Nolan's last name is Wells. My last name at one point in time was Walker. We were by each other in the alphabet when we graduated. Man, that's mind-boggling. It's insane. Me and Nolan have multiple classes together. Me and Nolan has always stayed tight. Nolan has always known that he could call me whatever. And like I've mentioned, like I got a new phone number 2 months ago. Nolan was the only friend that had my phone number out of the friend group, and I still call them my best friends. But we communicate on other social medias. But it's like Nolan called me on the day to meet up with me on the 4th out there. But we weren't good friends. We weren't close friends. And when I say best friend, man, I don't want to take away anybody how close they were to Nolan. But when I think of a best friend, I think of Nolan. Somebody I can call, somebody that I've stayed up and I've cried to. That was one of my best friends, genuinely speaking. She might not think it. That's okay. Me and Nolan knows where we stand with each other. And period, and Nolan knows that.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that.
You've got only one chance to choose your shelter. Pick wrong and you won't make it through the night. Defense, stealth,
With interviewing with me, right? We came out here to Mississippi. We just wanted to give the boys a voice, give you guys a voice. And out of, I'd say, all the other outlets that you could have spoken to, why do you feel that you wanted to talk to me tonight?
Honestly, I'm a big fan. I know when I look at news articles, big news articles, obviously, and then I know you talk on them, I make sure I go I watch the full thread of videos. I think our morals align alike. And when we spoke off camera, like, it didn't seem like you were out here like another news reporter that just wanted the next big story. Like you just said, it's like you genuinely wanted us to have a platform to be able to speak and to be able to tell the truth. And that's what I like. And I know, I don't know, talking to Warren and knowing Miss Katie and being close to them and them trusting you was like, okay, I can sit down, I can have this conversation, and we can go through it, and we can have the interview on camera, and people can see me, really, I guess you could say, and talk about it and whatnot.
I appreciate that. I really do. And my last question, with all this stuff going on, and you knew Nolan very well, what do you think how Nolan would feel about how this all has transpired with Benjamin Crumb, with, the statements from his mom, with the accusations against you and his other friends? How would you think he would address this or feel about this?
Well, I know people like to use a term, he would turn over in his grave. If Nolan could dig himself out of his grave right now, he would. No doubt. Nolan would be livid is an understatement. Nolan would never want anything pursued this way at all. I think he would be really upset with his parents about how they went about the situation. I think he generally would. I don't think he wouldn't support it. I know that for 110%. I know he wouldn't support any of it. I think he would want the truth and he would search for answers, but he wouldn't go about it like this. He wouldn't let us get dogged out like this. If Nolan could have spoke up, he would have already said something about our friend group and saying, yo, y'all are on the wrong path. Generally speaking, he would be mad. Like, he would be mad. And I don't understand how people don't see that and how people are just okay with even some of his, I guess you could say, other best friends, man, how they were coming out and how they're acting behind it. It's like, man, Nolan was never like that. Nolan was an aggressive, threatening person.
Now, let's stop right there. Now we cooking. Thank you, Tracestin. Now we cooking. They wasn't his friends. And that's the problem. And he just said, even his other best friends. Because his other best friends know. His other best friends is on y'all heads. That's what it is. It ain't social media. It's his best friend. It's his real friends. It's them friends that showed up at that funeral that know. And I promise, in the days to come, in the weeks to come, I promise you, his other set of friends is going to start to speak if they haven't already started to speak. So you don't got to answer to us. You need to answer to Nolan's other best friends. The ones that showed up at the funeral. Yeah, you did show up. You did show up. But when this play out, and it's playing out right before our eyes, it's only about 3 more minutes left of this guy. And then I'm going to come down to the chat, read some comments, and there's only 3 more minutes left on this interview, and then I'll be down in the chat. Oh, fuck.
This is how I keep my cooch bald.
Yeah. Tell me twice.
If Nolan could have spoke up, he would have already said something about our friend group and saying, yo, y'all.
Hold up, y'all.
Whatever position he was in 100 times before I let him pass away. And I mean that.
That ain't it.
I genuinely mean that. I don't. At his funeral.
Hold up, y'all.
I know that about how they went about the situation. I think he generally would. I don't think he wouldn't support it. I know that for 110%. I know he wouldn't support any of it. I think he would want the truth and he would search for answers, but he wouldn't go about it like this. He wouldn't let us get dogged out like this. If Nolan could have spoke up, he would have already said something about our friend group and saying, yo, y'all are on the wrong path. Generally speaking, he would be mad. Like, he would be mad. And I don't understand how people don't see that and how people are just okay with even some of his, I guess you could say, other best friends, man, how they were coming out and how they're acting behind it. It's like, man, Nolan was never like that. Nolan was an aggressive, threatening person. Don't get me wrong, Nolan would defend himself if he needed to defend himself. Nolan was loving and kind. Nolan was the furthest thing from a fight. Furthest thing from a fight. And I remember personally, I was in a heated argument and Nolan comes up cracking a joke and I'm like, bro, it's not even worth it. Like, come on. And it's like, that just shows his character wouldn't be like this. I know he wouldn't want people chanting at his funeral. I know that for a fact. I know nobody would want me or the rest of our friends to get dragged through like this. I know he would want all of us to feel comfortable going to that funeral, and all of us didn't because we're scared. And that says a lot. That says a lot. We're scared to go in our own town to who we called our best friend. Right. We're all over his socials, man. Like, I don't know how you're discrediting and thinking that we could have hurt him. We could have known somebody that hurt him. Because like I told everybody, I would put myself in whatever position he was in 100 times before I let him pass away. And I mean that. I genuinely mean that. That dude, he was so loving and so kind. It's just wild. It's crazy. It's wild and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you having the courage, man, to come down here and talk to us, give us, your point of view. And I say this, like I said to Warren, man, my whole objective is that, man, I was watching an injustice happen before my eyes. And an injustice meaning that the other side wasn't presented. And people that don't live here came into this town and shook it up, brought racism in it. And based on everybody's statement that I hear about Nolan, is that they didn't represent what he stood for.
No.
And they bastardized his character. And in my opinion, this is my opinion, to make money and build a GoFundMe instead of trying to actually get to the bottom of what happened to him. And none of this have I seen any of the activists pursue what actually happened. Somebody could have seen something, and instead they're going after dead ends simply because of race, simply because of convenience, instead of pursuing any other lead or any other notion of somebody knowing what happened to Nolan. So I thank you for coming out here, man. It took a lot of courage, putting your face out there, putting your name out there, putting the statements out there. Some people are going to be mad at you. But I'll tell you, like I told Warren and all the other boys, is that I got your back, man. You tell them the truth. I appreciate that. You being a good man, doing what's right. I got your back, man. And I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, y'all. So, for 43 minutes, right? All right, y'all. Y'all can line up them comments. For 43 minutes, you ain't hear no mentioning of a drowning. For all that BS that we heard, you ain't hear neither one of them mention anything about Nolan drowning. That's what they ruled. It was a drowning, right? Why didn't he ask him, Warren, do you believe it was a drowning? Give me some reasons why you would believe that it could have been a drowning. How good of a swimmer was Nolan? You don't hear nothing mentioned about a drowning. People who are like Nolan draw people to themselves because they shine. Light attracts everything, even darkness. Facts. They act like Nolan was a smiling knockover. Facts. No, the hell you're not. In other words, please take it easy on us. Right. Nolan family deserves the truth. Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. Nolan saying, Mom, keep telling your truth. All of them guilty of unaliving me. Facts. Next. Who's next? Wyatt? I don't know if I could take another one of them, Kay. I don't know if I could take another one of these folks. This guy wanted to be accountable for half of the truth according. Why didn't you? Jesus, spirits, and all. He off the powder. Yeah, slam Nolan's mom. When you play hard, you know tragedy can happen. Oh, wow. They are next. Karma knows their address. Facts. Want to be famous when you weren't on the boat. When you weren't on the boat, little boy. Yes, drama coming. K Bless, right. Is it Wyatt next? They're not helping? This ninja. Right, Belinda. I mean, karma coming. Alma says, now that's cap. God always watching. He sees everything. Wyatt, come on. We believe we just need more people. The you know what is he talking about? Right. He lying. Go get him a fix. Young and the Restless. Right. That dude was all over the place. Excuse me, y'all. Here we go. They can't mind their business. Always worried about the money. Facts. Here's DH. All I know is they better have some better evidence than what I've seen, because if you dragging my kids' good name through the mud and they're cleared, I'm suing everyone for defamation. All these snakes come out. All those snakes were not his friends. Nolan is no longer around to answer and speak the truth. This pathetic interview is sickening. Facts. DH, that's the point. Confuse the masses, so that means he's doing his job. I do think Tatum doesn't like Crump, but I believe he knows what this interview could do, like body language experts. Facts. And then when he asked him about the interview with ABC, and I said it, the reason why I didn't want to be on camera was because, you know, the death threats, and the reason why he ain't want to be on that camera, on that. Now, Officer Tatum's platform is minor league. We talking about ABC. That's one of the biggest platforms out there. Now, can y'all imagine him with his hat to the back, a dirty shirt all upside down, arms folded, scared to show his left hand? Oh man, sniffing so much powder. Can you imagine that on ABC? And I said it. That's why. That's why he ain't cam up. That's the reason why he did not cam up. We would have saw all of this. We would have been saw it. ABC would have saw it. Everybody would have saw it. Everybody would have been able to look in his eyes. Everybody would have been able to detect. Come on, dude. Fear wouldn't stop me from going to my best friend's funeral. That's a risk I'm going to take for my best friend. Take Ocean Spring PD. You said they got y'all back. Facts. Didn't you show up at the funeral? Why he showed up at the funeral? He receiving the death threats. Why the YTs didn't show up at the funeral? What's the difference? What's the difference? Stop it, dude. Let me catch the chat, y'all. Love Jones, this fool Tracestin claims they left Nolan on the island. So then how is Warren helping you in that fight? And why is Nolan never mentioned if he was there? Facts. Come on, Wyatt. Just start talking. I don't know if I could take Wyatt. Lord have mercy. He does not even understand how beautiful his skin color is. I'm coming, y'all. OG Shank, we went to the funeral, if I'm not. OG Shank, he went to the funeral, if I'm not mistaken. He was present, so I'm not understanding this guy. Exactly, J-Bone. He went. So what are you talking about? Why they didn't go? Warren said he didn't go because of the death threats too, but then he said, and other personal reasons. Stop it. Stop it. If the black side of the family was so much against you, and if the black family was coming for you, why they ain't get you at the funeral? LOL. These people don't know you. Nolan didn't even mess with black people. Ha ha ha. Y'all took time to punches and unalive him. Tears for real. No. Nolan did mess with black women. Nolan was this good guy, so much of a good guy. Let me guess. Well, when we were fighting, Nolan wasn't around. Right. But Nolan ain't bothered to break up the fights. Nolan ain't bothered to tell y'all, nah, man, don't be doing that, chill. Why was y'all so insist on getting Nolan on that boat? Nolan, get on the effing boat. Why? Why was y'all so hooked on Nolan getting on a sinking boat? Wyatt ain't going to talk because they're covering for him. I would love to them interview two people at the same time. House ninjas. Their mind is cracking, no rest. He tried to cry, but he was too high to do so. Right. I was crying. All right. Not big bad Tracestin. Nolan didn't mess with black women. People brought racism to Mississippi. Right. The people brought it. Like racism ain't already active in Mississippi. But the people brought it to Mississippi. Ben Crump, Al Sharpton brought it to Mississippi. They did. Is this officer real? This man is against his own, and he's sticking his nose in something that don't concern him. Facts. That's facts. That's not true. Nolan did not mess with white black people. I went to a Catholic school that was predominantly white Spanish, but you still have your family. Racism hurts my soul. Tatum has their back. Just remember that. People that say he's not on their side. Facts. Facts. It would be interesting interview two people at the same time. He said it, if you dig him up, he would be so mad. What the you know what exactly? He wasn't on the same boat as Nolan, so he wouldn't know what happened to Nolan. Curious, what would you have done differently? The parents did what they thought was best to get answers. Facts. Hold up, y'all. How you bring racism to a sundown town? Facts. Nolan had no time for Wakanda. He wants to be in Tyler Perry's movie. Even though I believe foul play did happen, but no evidence. Believe Officer Tatum got your back if you want to. Right. Right. Tatum got nobody's back. That tells you a lot right there. You gotta have people to have your back. If you ain't done nothing wrong, you think I care if somebody got my back and I know I ain't done nothing wrong? I could, man, Lord have mercy. Lord. A little bit more comments, y'all, then we're going to get out of here, y'all. I believe him. Exactly. Shank, nothing mentioned. Tiffany, chill. I cannot with two of them at a time. Right. Two of them at a time? Sniffing coke, sniffing fish scale, sniffing that powder. Two of them? They said they were scared to show up with all those peaceful influencers there. That's crazy. I see you, Yusef. Hey, Shank, this guy interviewing these kids act like we would believe them instead of Nolan's parents. They knew Nolan better than Nolan's parents knew their own son. Make it make sense. Facts. Facts. On the wicked. Mississippi been racist since the town was built. Facts. Way is before we could be 2 pages at a part. Why not? It'd be funny. It'll be too funny for me. Us who? Surely he quit the force after 6 years. He is a male Candace Owens. We heard fight. A little bit more, y'all, then we're going to get out of here, y'all. He wasn't trying to be famous. He was trying to clear his name from the false narratives put on him. I have teenager boys. I can always tell when they're lying about stuff. Facts. Damn, yo, I'm trying to get everybody comment. I know I'm not, so. DH. Their body language tells me everything. He really think he know Nolan better than him, better than his mom. This dude is cray-cray, shaking my head. You have to prove defamation, please. Facts. And once again, everything that you hear in this demonstration is allegedly. It's for entertainment and educational purposes only. So you're always in a fight with that line, you know what. These are the most racist interviews I've seen. Tracestin claims he didn't go to the funeral. Hands folded the whole time, shaking my head. Even white people looking at him like he's stupid. You evil people stopped Nolan's friends from going to the funeral. Wow. He was sniffing because he was crying. Sniffing to be damned. Damian Cameron case, Stacey Turner, Mississippi medical examiner, undetermined. He tried to fake cry. Crying powder tears, fake. Don't forget those dirty, you know what pants he has on. Facts. Yes, fake crying. Turn your hat back to the front. I wonder why Officer Tatum ain't tell him, hey, look, man, you know, turn your head to the right way, or because that's a bad look. That's a bad image that you're showing. It speaks volumes. Did he wear dirty clothes on ABC? He's a working man. He ain't. You weren't on the boat. Right. All right, y'all. I think he wore that on purpose to seem like a hardworking young man. Right. That could be it. He is just a kid. He's in this little town. I just feel really bad for him. All right, y'all. Salute. I might come back at 10 p.m. I might. Salute everybody, and I'll see y'all on the next demonstration. I'll leave the chat running, and y'all can hang around for as long as y'all would like. Salute everybody.